How free-to-play friendly is Genshin Impact really? Well, the simple answer is not very. Probably. This video is coming out about a month after the game's initial release, so I could know the ins and outs of the late game, experience an event, have a good idea of how free-to-play friendly this game seems to be, at least. Basically, from what I found out, is that while you can beat the normal content just fine so far, your ability to pull on the banners, your odds of pulling what you want, are pretty terrible. To help everyone understand this, let's first go over how the gacha itself works. So to start with, we've got 3 different banners here to work with, all with various rate-ups and whatnot. The first banner is a character banner, and what that means is no weapons are on rate-up. You will not ever pull a 5-star weapon out of this banner. You are more likely to pull characters in general. You're guaranteed a 5-star character if you are able to pull a 5-star at all. Next, we have the weapons banner, which is basically the exact opposite of the character banner. You're not going to pull any characters on it. If you get a 5-star, it's guaranteed to be a weapon, one of the rate-ups, yada yada yada. And finally, we have the standard banner. This is up all the time. This banner is just an anything goes and everything goes banner. Any character that isn't a limited available character can be pulled. Any weapon that isn't a limited available weapon can be pulled, all at the same time. Now, what are our odds? The base chance of a 5-star pull, no matter what they say to you when you go into the details, 50%! Oh my goodness, isn't that great? That's a lie. You want to roll down here. Your base probability of your 5-star character is 0.6%. The banners try to trick you with that 50% as your first thing there, but all that's really saying is that when you enact the pity pool system, that is, if you do not get a 5-star anything within 90 attempts, you are guaranteed by that 90th attempt to get one, that you have a 50% chance of getting the rate up 5-star item, which means it's either going to be Clay, or if it's not Clay, then it's guaranteed to be some other 5-star character. But she has the highest chance of showing up, basically. Now, on the standard banner, this becomes much worse. Because on the standard banner, absolutely nothing is on rate up, nothing is guaranteed. When you get your pity pool, it can be any of these 5-star items. So, let's say you want to get Dilik, for example, because everyone wants Dilik. He's DPS man, right? So, your 0.6% base chance of a 5-star is now split into 0.3% between character and weapon before anything else. There are 5 characters on this banner to eat up your chance. That means that 5 characters to be pulled from the 0.3%, meaning your chance at pulling your specific character, your Dilik or your Kaching or your Chi-Chi, whatever you want, is 0.06%. Which is insanely low. That is one of the lowest rates I've ever seen in any gacha ever. Pulling on the character banner does give you a slightly better chance at getting whatever character you want. Obviously, whatever character is on rate up, you can guarantee eventually. But the most important thing to know is that because you take the weapons out of the equation, no matter what, your chance of getting any of these 5-star characters, if you want a 5-star character at all, goes up significantly. For example, we'll still go after Dilik here. We'll take our 0.6% base rate, divide it between the 6 characters here instead of just the 5 characters because of the limited character, and it is 0.1%. Much better than 0.06, but still incredibly poor. Now, like I mentioned before, for all 3 banners, if you do 90 pulls and do not get a 5-star by the 90th pull, that 90th pull is a pity pull, guaranteed to be some sort of 5-star pull. When this happens on a character banner, you are guaranteed to have much, much, much better luck at getting what you want, but still, at the end of the day, nothing is 100%. Except for your second pity pull on a character banner, guaranteed to be the rate-up character, which means 180 pulls will guarantee you whatever the rate-up character is eventually. Now, like I just said before, this pull itself is terrible. The rates are awful. You have a 16% chance, 1 in 6 chance, once you get that pity pool, to get whatever character you want, which is better, but still pretty poor. Now, the thing that really makes this costly, every single banner uses the same main currency, and that is, of course, Primogems. It costs 160 Primogems per pool, regardless of what banner you are on. I know it shows these little different currencies, intertwined fates or acquaint fates, but they're basically just there to complicate the system itself and make people have a harder time understanding it. Let's just make it as simple as possible and just equate it to Primogems. It's 160 Primogems for a pool regardless of your banner, period. You get Primogems from a lot of sources. You can open chests, you can do dailies, you can get sent Primogems via mail for events, do trial quests, complete the Abyss quests, or of course, you can go to the shop and purchase them. Your main free-to-play source of gems, for those of you that are trying to be free-to-play, is of course opening chests. At first, at least. At first, it seems like you're given tons and tons of gems, especially from chests. You wander around, you find chests just by looking around, guiding Sealies to their homes, doing challenge altars, finding balloon plants, killing groups of enemies, protecting chests, doing world quests, opening shrines, etc., etc. There's tons of different sources for chests, but the problem is in how many gems you get per chest. Some chests are amazing. Shrine chests give you a whole 40 Primogems, for example. The problem is that these amazing chests are extremely rare, with only a handful in the entire world available, approximately 20. The vast majority of chests that you'll find will either be common or exquisite quality, netting between 0 and 5 Primogems, usually giving out 2 at a time. Remember, it's 160 Primogems per pool. The best chests in the games are giving you 40 gems, 1/4 of a pool, 1/4 of a pool, and there's only about 20 of those in the entire game. Most chests are giving out 0, 2, or 5 gems. Chests that give 2 gems are 1/80th a pool, 5 gems 1/32nd of a pool. At first, it's easy to find that many chests to get yourself that one pool, but as you play and start to exhaust those resources over time, you're left with very, very little Primogem gain in the game. To make matters worse, while chests do seem to respawn, the majority that I have personally confirmed to respawn at least are common chests that net you 0 gems. So after a while, you can spend your time scouring the world just to find a few common chests with 0 gems over and over and over again. If you do wish to go to the shop and purchase gems, then you go to the Crystal Top-Up, and the best possible deal that you can get is 8,080 gems for $100. Your first-time bonus will double your Genesis crystals, but after that it goes to 8,080 per purchase, or enough for 50 pools. That means that if you want to guarantee a 5-star just by paying for it, it's going to cost you about $200 for a single 5-star. If you want a 5-star weapon to go with that 5-star character, another $200, unless you get lucky. I've personally been keeping track of how many gems I've gained from various sources, including free gems from celebrating the game's launch, doing daily quests, doing the world quests, opening chests, etc. As of this video's recording, I have opened over 1,200 chests in the game. This has resulted in approximately 7,000 gems if I have been keeping track properly. Or, to put it in pool terms, 43 pools. My complete free-to-play gem gains have totaled around 12,500 gems. Or, to put it in pool terms, 78 pools. This isn't even enough for a pity pool for a single 5-star. A month's worth of chests, quests, dailies, an event, and free giveaways, including every single luxurious, unique world chest, shrine chest, all that stuff, and I have not received even a single guaranteed 5-star out of pure free-to-play. Now, to make matters worse, there's lots of resources to run around and pick up, there's lots of materials that you can go get in the world, but the materials that matter the most, the things that you desperately need the most, all come from going to domains and running those, defeating epic enemies or elite enemies, doing your weekly bosses of Storm Terror or the Wolf. I forget the wolf's name, I'm sorry. If you want to run ley lines for Mora, run ley lines for experience, get your weapon upgrade materials, talent upgrade materials, ascension materials, etc., etc., everything is going to cost original resin. Original Resin is this game's stamina system. It refreshes at a rate of 1 resin per 8 minutes. That means that you get 180 resin every 24 hours. The big problem is that it takes 20 resin for Mora ley lines, experience ley lines, upgrade material shrines, talent material shrines, artifact runs, all that stuff. 20 resin per run. It costs 40 resin for each epic elite monster that you kill to get your ascension materials, and it costs 60 resin to fight your weekly bosses, Stormterror the Dragon, and Andreas the Wolf. I remembered now. And when you run these things, they give very, very small amounts of resources. You run one of those talent upgrade materials, and you're going to get 2 of the small book, 2 of the medium book, maybe 1 or 2 of the big book if you're at adventure rank 45, which very few people, if anyone, is. Why does this matter when we're talking about free-to-play friendliness and everything? Well, other than waiting to refill your resin, you can also spend Primogems to refill your resin. That means that if you don't feel like waiting around and not farming for a whole day before you can do a bunch more farming, you can just open up the old wallet, slip out that credit card, and do more runs. Upwards of 6 full refills per day, and that's how people are adventure rank 45 plus right now. With this quite frankly awful stamina system in place, it becomes a very tedious and long-standing task to upgrade your characters. This is by design though. It's to prey upon your desire to not wait, and there are definitely people out there throwing Primogems into this just to be able to keep powering up their characters or weapons. They just recently did make an announcement that they'll increase the max resin to 160, which honestly solves 0 of the issues and is a completely worthless change, except for the most casual of casual players that will play once every couple of days and show up again with a fully refilled bank. Remember, you only make 180 resin every 24 hours. Now, while there is no content currently in the game that requires you to pull strong characters and weapons to be able to complete them as of this time, except maybe some high-level Abyss content, there's no denying that the rates for this game, both gacha rates and material drop rates, are absolutely abysmal. The amount of free Primogems you get in this game is nowhere near high enough to make up for the terrible rates. And because of this, I can't personally say that this game is very free-to-play friendly. If someone was asking me if this game is a good free-to-play game and if they can get away without spending money, I would probably tell them no. As of now. Based on what I've heard from players of Honkai Impact 3rd, though, another gacha game from MiHoYo, I believe it was the one right before Genshin Impact, there is a high chance that later release content will require the strength of 5-star characters and good weapons to be able to complete. As the systems of the game stand right now, that's awful, terrible news for free-to-play players. Maybe this game will veer differently, but for now, with the way things are looking pretty expensive.